defense first, it is going to be Splyce. Pure will be on a Mercy, not a Lucio, thank goodness. Flame will be on Zarya. Papa Smurf is going to be playing Reinhardt. Steel on a defensive Reaper. Kozin, been untouchable today on a Soldier 76. And Clockwork bringing back the McCree.
Yep, Clockwork being the new McCree specialist, saying this Cowboy is not done yet despite the nerfs. Meanwhile, though, looking at the offense coming out from the side of LG, it's going to be Seagull on the Pharah, Pooks on the Junkrat, Esper on Mercy, Gods on the 76, Enigma on the D.Va, and Milo going to be going on to the Reinhardt. Don't let him fool you. What he's doing here, this isn't trolling or joking around all the rest. He's going to throw Sonic Arrow so they have an idea of what team comp they're going up against. And if they see something they don't like, they have the opportunity to change before they go out. It's pretty smart on King's Row. Or, now that I said that, he's not even going to do that. He's just going to go straight in the Reinhardt. Thank you, Milo. But that is something that does happen from time to time.
Yeah, the Sonic Arrow strategy is totally viable. Get some eyes, get some vision on the team, and then you just switch off right away. It costs you nothing. I actually really endorse it. Not surprised they don't want to do it.
Alright, so LG moving out. Milo leading the way. And this is where you'll see that this is the Pharah spot where Seagull is right now. Every Pharah lands right here. This is where Pharah's like jumping to, like getting a little bit of poke as their team looks for an opportunity. And I'm gonna note, by the way, Enigma did not go with the D.Va, he went with the Mei instead. So Mei having a grand appearance here, fighting out Steel. Steel gonna have to run away from Mei. As LG right now taking it slow, looking for an opportunity. Mei, though, going to go down. Steel with 2 picks here already. And LG having a little bit of trouble getting through his Clockwork, going to shoot Seagull right in the head.
Yeah, that's going to end that push pretty early on as Esper and Seagull are dead. Can't do much without your combo in the air. Yeah, it's really nice work by Clockwork.
All right, both teams getting into it again as LG looking for a slightly better offensive push here. Note that Pooks does have a tire. He might be throwing that out any moment now if LG gets a little bit more of an opening. They are starting to push Splyce back a bit. Splyce not wanting to lose anyone. Both teams really fighting for this all-important first kill. Poke is paramount. I think we're going to see here from Pooks. Pooks is going to wait till the fight develops a little bit more, and then he's going to go for the tires. Seagull in the back line was able to take out Kozin in a death pact as they both killed each other. So 5v5 for both teams here. Seagull will be able to get back a little bit before Kozin, however.
Yeah, actually, they got kind of lucky there as Esper was caught out in no man's land after that engagement, was able to fly away. He was in a really rough spot early on, but this is a very prolonged battle. I think it's going to come down to who ends up having to use a resurrection first.
No, absolutely. And the other thing here for Steel is that Steel is setting up for a Death Blossom here in just a moment. And this is something that LG has to be really careful of. LG is looking for the opportunity in, but if they're not careful, Seagull could just end it with one press of Q. Milo now sort of out on his own, has to be careful. Steel is going for that, but here comes the tire from Pooks. Will this get the value? Meanwhile, Seagull on the barrage doesn't quite kill anyone with it. 2 kills though for LG anyways, as LG with the res moving in. Steel coming in though with the Death Blossom, gonna take out 2. Does get a little bit of value there, and on the point, Papa Smurf still hanging onto an Earth Shatter. As the defense is really doing pretty well here for Splyce.
Yeah, no, I mean, they had to resurrect too, and then the Mercy got the shield afterwards, was able to follow them, the Reaper in on Steel and Reaper, and he was able to take down the opposing Mercy, so they weren't able to resurrect at the same time. Now the res are going to be equal again, because Pure almost is already charged up.
Milo right now moving in, looking for the Earth Shatter. Will land the Earth Shatter, knocks 2 down, setting them up. The offense getting right in. The Mercy having to blow the Resurrection right away in response to that. But Clockwork and Kozin coming right back as Enigma going to fall. So LG fully wiped out. There's the team wipe horn, and LG having way more problems on point A here than I was ever expecting.
I am empowered.
I mean, it's just really nice holds. They had to use Resurrection first, but they used it in an extremely valuable way, able to get more Resurrections out, and yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised at how strong this hold is going for him.
Seagull now moving in, looking for his opportunity, going to get on the 76 in the back, bouncing him around a little bit. Enigma takes out Papa Smurf while this is going on. Will Seagull complete this kill? Kozin will go down. 3 kills now for the side of LG. Enigma really coming in the clutch on the 76, and Flame just getting pushed back, will get taken out. 2 kills for Seagull, 2 for Enigma, and LG might be cracking the code here. It's getting close, but there's the Earth Shatter coming down from Milo, going to send Papa Smurf to his death, and this should be it.
Yeah, they finally got Seagull in the position that he wanted to be in, over the top and kind of causing chaos and discoordination on the defense. He tried to get there early on. Clockwork had knocked him out of the sky, as well as Kozin earlier, getting them into the back lines where they wanted to be just from the get-go. Actually opened up that defense, able to clean it up, and that is a pretty solid first hold, though. A little surprised that Splyce was able to hold that long.
Well, we do have a Widowmaker setting right now. God's bringing up the Widow. We saw God's do a lot of really good Widow work in the last weekly. Widow, of course, has been nerfed since then. We see a little bit less of her. Widow having to go for headshots above all else, or she's just not as effective. But decent poke being made by Gods here as LG sets up for the next offensive push.
Yeah, I mean, I still like running an offensive Widow here. Just look what it does to the defense. They're not allowed to be in the position they want to be. It wins them pretty much this first corner of the streets for free.
One thing of note here, though, Steel is biding his time, waiting for an opportunity to come in as Reaper, and now he's going around the flank. And it's going to take him a little bit to get here, but he is going to be looking for this flanking Death Blossom. As the offense now getting pushed a little bit back, the speed boost is out, Papa Smurf rushing in, and now Steel was taken out in the back. He was not able to get that Death Blossom down, and now Seagull's coming to fight. He barrages out the right, and this could absolutely turn in LG's favor with the right barrage. He's moving forward. Here comes the barrage, gets the double kill. And just like that, LG opening the way. Nothing too flashy, but a barrage, just what the doctor ordered.
Well, making up some time on this map in the street space for sure. Generally, that's where we used to see teams get bogged down, but they needed to make up some good time after the stronghold on the first point. I think the defense is going to be able to put one last fight up here, not give up the second point for free.
Steel is going in. He just might be going for the YOLO Death Blossom here. Gets right on top of the point. Getting healed by Mercy. Hanging on to Death Blossom. Not using it just yet. As LG now moving in off the sound barrier. Getting 4 kills. God's on the double kill. In fact, Widowmaker coming in big. Groton coming out from the defense, but might be too little too late. Steel does not get much off of that Death Blossom. Defense still in and around here, but Gods looking for kills. Has one shot on the Clockwork. Looking for another Clockwork. Juking it with that 80-80 strafing. But in the end, LG is going to get this checkpoint. The spawn points will move forward, and LG making up for some lost time on the streets phase.
Yeah, really nice push in there as Enigma continues to clean up. Those are staggered deaths by Cozen and Clockwork that you really can't afford right there. Gods has been absolutely unopposed. They haven't even tried to answer Gods. Enigma gets another couple late kills on Pure and Steel as well. They are just bleeding right now.
Enigma was able to get in there, got the double kill, was able to push things forward. LG with all the momentum on their side. Seagull about to have the barrage up and ready. Defensively, it's not all lost. They do have an Earth Shatter for Papa Smurf. Papa, of course, having those big Papa moments earlier in the series, or earlier today in general. But here comes Seagull going sneakily in the hole, over behind the back. And here comes the barrage right on top of Bastion. Steel getting deleted, Pure getting deleted, and Reinhardt getting damaged very heavily before Flame coming in on the Genji.
Taking down Pure is super important because as you see, Esper comes in, brings his team back to full force. Gods remains unopposed, able to pick up a couple kills of his own. Really smart and patient play by Seagull on the backside there, taking out the Bastion and the Mercy. Prime targets. Gods continues to clean up.
Yeah, and even though the Widow streaks are a little bit less frequent, Gods had moments in this game where he was able to get 2-3 kills in one go, and Widow still has that power when played properly. It just requires a bigger focus on landing headshots.
Well, it's also now you don't really have to worry about counter sniping. The other team's not running it as consistently, and they didn't have any answer for him at all.
So LG had a pretty good recovery there. I think the beginning was a little bit rough for them. They weren't expecting the Splyce defense to give them as much troubles as it did. But saying a time of 7:01 here on the attack, it's not a quick King's Road time, but it's also a defensible King's Road time. I think, all things considered, it could be much, much worse for LG given how point A went, and LG is going to give it right back to Splyce on their defense. Their defense is very good. Junkrat play, of course, coming out from Seagull in the hotel can be absolutely smothering, so we'll see how things work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's kind of strange to see LG get as much value out of their Widow play as that it was a point where they struggle on it for so long, and now Widow gets nerfed, and they have one of their best matches centered around a Widow play. Early on, it was just Clockwork taking out the Pharah and Mercy combo that really slowed them down. Once they were able to get that in and get some value out of it, everything just rolled from there. And then just late on, Splyce was just kind of bleeding and staggering kills, which is something you can't afford to do. Never got their footing under him. And then Seagull with a really nice play towards the end. He was super patient with him as he wanted to drop it. Sound barrier came down, waited for that to fade, took out the 2 prime targets in a Bastion and a Mercy. So just nice play overall. A beatable time, but I think LG is going to put up a decent defense here. To that end, their roster on defense is going to be Pooks on Symmetra. Esper will be playing Mercy, Milo on Reinhardt. Seagull will be on that Junkrat. Enigma will play the other part of that gang on Roadhog, and Gods will round it out on Soldier 76.
Take a look here at the Splyce side of things as they set up. It's going to be Flame on the Zarya, Steel on the Pharah, Clockwork on McCree, Pure on the Winston, Kozin on Mercy, and Papa Smurf on the Reinhardt. So pretty standard stuff coming out from the side of Splyce. We see Pharah a lot, we see Zarya a lot. And I gotta say, Flame has had some really good Zarya plays today, so going to be interesting to see what that does against the defense of LG. And LG, I would expect their defense to come out pretty strong here, especially after what happened in the last round.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be up to Pure. What we've seen so far from Splyce is kind of a newish team. Their strategy has been to try to really get in a place, get their pieces in position for a chess move, and then all leap at the same time. It's based off Pure's leap on Winston. Now, we've seen teams try to disrupt that by taking the fight to him. It'll be interesting to see how this aggressive composition faces against a pretty standard defense here.
And again, one of the problems here dealing Junkrat on King's Row is that if you ignore the Junkrat, he's going to flank your team as you move in and kill everyone. If you go after the Junkrat, he has a lot of good defensive cover in this hotel. So Junkrat, this is one of his best positions in the entire game, and it can cause real issues for teams as they try and move forward. And Steel right now tried to get through on the ground floor, meets Milo's Fire Strike instead, is immediately taken out. And the offensive Splyce, I mean, they just need to back up a little bit and wait for Steel to get back in, because going in without Steel here is going to be pretty difficult.
That's brutal for so many reasons. Milo now already near 50% on his Earth Shattered. I mean, by comparison, Papa Smurf without hitting that is at 25%. So not only does it kill Steel and slow down the push, it really just feeds Milo.
Splyce now getting a little bit more aggro here. Steel is back up and in, but he gets taken out by Gods in the back. Gods just setting up a picnic here, 76 way in the back. Doesn't have to worry about a Widow picking him off. In fact, I don't think Gods has to worry about much of anything right now, short of maybe Steel rushing out for Lucio, but it doesn't really seem like Splyce likes doing that, so Gods really with his pick of everything at the moment.
I mean, it kind of comes down to the point of what do you want to focus on to take away from LG at this point? Is Gods the problem that you have to go deal with up top? Do you have to deal with someone else? You have to deal with Seal at some point. You have to deal with it all, but you have to choose one. Right now, they're not dealing with anything.
We had a stealth Winston in the back trying to deal with Gods. Gods really didn't care, just took him out, headshot him to death. And this is just problematic. They have Seagull in the hotel, you have Gods in the back. If you focus on Seagull, Gods is going to kill you. If you focus on Gods, Seagull is going to kill you. And it's one of those things where they need a more decisive engage, but thus far, Splyce seems a little bit mystified in dealing with this LG defense.
Got you in my sights.
Yeah, Pure finally comes in, gets some disruption in the back line. Steel is taken out again by Gods. Pure gets cleaned up for all his efforts. Papa misses his Earth Shattered, dies for it.
We do have the Resurrection coming out here from the offense as they try and keep things going. God's already used Attack Visor, but this has just been brutal. Seagull just had a double kill Tyra a second ago. Is helping regulate with the help of Gods here. And really, again, I just think the offense has not been able to penetrate deep enough into the LG side to do what they need to do. And LG is just sort of getting everything they want here. And now, even though the attack from LG wasn't the greatest, I'm not really convinced that Splyce has what it takes to get through point A of LG right now.
No, not at all. I was just going to say that I don't think the Winston's working out here at all because the distance is just too far. You can't leap onto Gods. You can't do anything in that room with Junkrat in there. So Pure does come up, switches it to a Zenyatta. Steel now on the offensive Reaper too. At least they're trying to make some changes. Only about 4 minutes, little over 4 minutes to complete the entire map.
All right, well, Pook's able to take out Kozin with the orb. That is not what you want for an offense with no mercy up. They're not going to be able to resurrection or get a res up. It's going to be all sorts of bad. They have to back up again, and LG just bought themselves another 20 to 30 seconds here. And you look at all the ults are up for LG. They have so many options available to deal with this next push coming out from Splyce.
Yeah, something has to change here. They have to be able to start getting picks and then maybe just prioritize Esper, but Esper's playing so far back.
Seagull right now doing whatever he wants here in the back, able to take out Steel, looking for more. Pure going to go down. And Seagull, he doesn't even need to use the tire right now. There's already 2 down the offense. Why use it right now? Wait for them to group up a little bit more and use it a bit after. And really for the offense, their last gasp is going to be something to do with Transcendence and Graviton Surge. They're probably going to have to blow both at the same time, hope to get a few kills, and really they need to take Esper out immediately. Otherwise, Esper will just undo all the damage that they do end up doing.
Yeah, they're going to try to push through this room and deal with the Junkrat problem.
Flame got in, got the 3-person Graviton. Here they go. Will they be able to get the follow-up? But just really Flame being his own follow-up, he's going to go down. Did take out Esper, so mission accomplished, I guess, in that regard. But overall, LG holding very firmly against this. And really Splyce not getting a whole lot done.
Yeah, the push was super split. They sent 2 into the backside, got their Graviton over there. Because of that, they had no follow-up. The other 4 were up front, but they got Earthshatter down, could not come around to follow that up. I mean, I'm not sure that I love splitting up your group into squads right there. Neither really got anything done.
All right, well, Steel right now does have Death Blossom on and ready, and he's going to have to get something huge off this. I'm not sure if LG is positioned to where he can actually get anything huge off this Death Blossom, but between him and Papa Smurf, this is their only chance of actually cracking this point as they go forward. Death Blossom is going to come out from Steel, will take out Esper, takes out the tire as well, will go down before doing much else, and LG still pretty confident as they hold here. God's still in the back doing whatever he wants. And now 3 seconds remaining, Splyce not with much time, and even if they did get kept this here, for the overall time, I don't think they would have been able to bring it to the end.